Welcome back to another video about Marvel Legends action figures. Today we're going to take a look at a few Spider-Man figures, but today's spotlight is going to be on the Amazing Fantasy Marvel Legends First Appearance Spider-Man. This Amazing Fantasy First Appearance Spider-Man figure, it is arguably the best Marvel Legends Spider-Man we have gotten to date. A lot of folks seem to like this figure. I myself love it. I can't stop posing it around and playing with it on a weekly basis, sometimes almost daily. This figure is just phenomenal. I love it. I actually have two of these, and I would have a third if it wasn't so expensive now. I think this guy goes for about $40, $50 now, new in box. And I think for retail, I think it was $27.99. I got my two copies off Amazon, and he's just a phenomenal figure. And the body this guy is on, it is brand new, or at least it was brand new. The body type here, it's a little bit smaller than the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And this body mold has been reused 3 times now, I believe. This body mold, this was the first time it was used, and it was reused again for a animated series retro carded version. And then it was reused again for a Hasbro Pulse 3-pack with Iceman and Firestar. But the body is amazing. It's got very good proportions. It's got very good articulation. I kind of like the way it poses around better than the Renew Your Vows or that retro card Spider-Man that we got in 2020, I believe. I mean, this guy here, he just feels great in hand. He's just very fun to pose around. The only negatives I can think of off the top of my head, or just looking at him, the butterfly joints, they don't get very great range, but they're definitely good enough. They're damn sure better than no butterfly joints. And the chest spider logo, I know it's accurate to the Spider-Man from this time period, but I'm not a big fan of the way it looks. I like the more modern versions since this. I mean, this is 1960s era. I mean, it's literally the first appearance of Spider-Man. So, but I mean, it's accurate. It looks great. So, in case you don't know, here's what the articulation looks like. He's got good butterfly joints each side. His arm can go around. He's got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and he is pinless in the arms and knees. He's got like this diaphragm joint that can twist side to side very well. He has this phenomenal lower abdomen crunch that we've been seeing on a few figures lately. And it moves very nice. And it's painted all the way through. You love seeing that. Same thing on the back, painted all the way through. He can kick forward a very good amount. He can kick back a little bit. Oops. And he can do some pretty good splits. He can do some high kicks. Like I said, he's just great for posing around. He's got upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. Once again, they're pinless. He has the boot cut, and the ankle pivot and up and down is phenomenal. It's a little tight there, but overall, this is a phenomenal figure. Go ahead and do some quick comparisons here. So here is the other Spider-Man that this body is on that I have. This is the cel-shaded retro card Walmart exclusive. And they had very similar accessories. The web effects that this guy came with, they are a little bit different. And the articulation is the exact same. I mean, like I said, it's the exact same body mold. And I wasn't a big fan of this figure. I mean, it looks nice. I mean, it's kind of accurate to the animated series from the 90s. I mean, the colors are great and all that, but I mean, I kind of like this one better. The cel shading, it's a nice touch, but I'm just not a big fan of that. And I don't think many people are. But I mean, the cel shading can come off if you use the acetone paint remover. But I'm just not going to do that. I just don't want to risk removing too much paint. But Hasbro did a good job on this figure too. At least my copy here, the paint looks great. The logos look great. The joints, they move around very well. And this body's pinless, just like the other one. It gets the exact same range of motion in all the posing you can do. He's just a great looking figure. He's a nice piece to have. In my opinion, if you can only buy one of these, I would go with this guy, the first appearance. I think he is also cheaper. I used to have 3 of these, but I sold off 2 of them because I just wasn't that impressed with it. But you know, in my opinion, you can never have too many Spider-Man figures. You just, as they come out, I don't keep buying them. One more negative with this guy, or maybe the only negative besides the cell shading, is when you crunch his swivel back, you get that gap right there. And it looks kind of silly, but and the back too a little bit, not really. But other than that, this guy here is phenomenal as well. These are 2 of the best Spider-Man figures you can buy, and there's just not much bad to say about them. On to the next Spider-Man figure we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the black suit symbiote Spider-Man here. And he is on a different body than the other 2. This body is the exact same as the Renew Your Vows, except it does not have the toe articulation. As we know, Hasbro's brought back the toe articulation for a few figures. But this guy looks great. He feels great in hand. The exact body he's on is that retro carded Spider-Man from 2020. He's got the diaphragm joint here, and he's got this lower crunch in the lower abdomen part. And he gets nice range forward and back. He's got deeper butterfly joints. That's what I love about this body mold. You get more range on those. He's also painted all the way through in the back on the logo. Mine's got some scuffing right there, but that's not a problem. At least it's on the back of the figure. The front looks great. As far as the paint goes, the sculpting is great. These guys here also got these drop down hips. Great for posing. And he has all that great articulation that you love out of a Spider-Man figure. For accessories, I know he's got these wall crawling hands that I've got on mine for the shelf. I think he also came with fisted hands, and I think he had the web shooting hands as well. I would have gotten them out, but I couldn't find them in my baggy stash. I kind of got ahead of myself here, but we'll back up a little bit and we'll talk about this guy a little bit more, at least his accessories. For accessories, the hands that's on him right now, those are like grabbing hands. He can hold like webbing. You can make your own custom webs, or you can use the one he came with. Here's the one he came with. You've seen it 1,000 times. It comes with several Spider-Man figures. But also he comes with wall crawling hands. He came with the web shooting hands. He came with fisted hands. And he also came with these web wing effects. And they've got like a port or a peg on them, and they port in to the back of his arm right there. So Hasbro put these little holes in the backs of his arms, and these pieces plug right into that. And these 2 pieces are for like a flared out effect when he's flying. And these 2 are for when his arms are like down and he's like in a casual pose. But they go in the exact same way. So that's the accessories that guy comes with. I just had those out in handy. The cell shaded retro Spidey there, he came with, I think he had the exact same accessories, but the web effects were different. And next up, we're going to talk about this guy here. The figure everybody used to love. Now he just gets moderate love. But this guy here was revolutionary when he came out to the Marvel Legends. And he is the 2020 retro card Spider-Man that used to go for big money, or at least big money for what this is. I got lucky on this guy when he first came out. I think I got one off Amazon, or not Amazon, but GameStop. I think I got two off GameStop. I bought an extra from GameStop because I thought my kid lost my first one, and I bought a second as it came in stock. And it turns out he didn't lose it. It was just stuck in a dinosaur's mouth. I actually have three of these, I think. I got one mint on card that I'll probably keep until forever. And then I got this one loose and another one loose. The other one I got posed up super high up, and I'm not getting him, but this one was down low, so I grabbed him. Now, actually, I got four of these. So I got one posed up with a Green Goblin on his glider. I got this one handy. Then I got another one with a maskless head sculpt on. So I went crazy on this guy. I mean, he was in high demand, and I bought every one I saw. But he has that great articulation. His might be better somehow than that black suit over there that he's on the same body of. But yeah, this guy here, he feels great in hand. He's got good paint applications. I like the colors on him. I like the dark blue, the dark red. The spider emblem's kind of small, but I mean it's neat. It's nice. Butterfly joints get phenomenal range. He was the first to also have the drop down hips, and he's just a great figure to pose around. And for accessories, I got this one posed up with the web shooting hands. I believe he had fisted hands, and I don't think he had wall crawling hands. I think he just had these fisted hands. He came with another head sculpt where the eyes were a little bit different. I think they were smaller than these. Or maybe this is the small eye head sculpt. But yeah, he's got all that same articulation as the black suit. And this right here is another must-have figure, but I think he's still a pretty penny, so I'd probably skip this guy and get the Renew Your Vows, honestly, unless you don't mind paying big. And the last Spider-Man we're going to look at is the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. I think this one, I'm torn between this one being my favorite and the Amazing Fantasy First Appearance. I like this bigger, bulkier body. And I like these colors on it, and I like the spider emblem on the chest. I like the bigger eyes. But I don't know. There's just something about that smaller one that's still neat. But this guy here, he's got all that great articulation that the retro cards Spider-Man have and that these two have, except that he has the toe articulation. That is a very nice add-on, and we're getting a few more figures with that. I think we're getting another Spider-Man. That Symbiote Carnage 2-pack, I think, has the toe articulation, and that new Deadpool exclusive. He's got this upper diaphragm cut, and it can twist, and it can crunch and go back. He has the lower abdomen pivot that goes all the way down. It can go all the way back. He came with several accessories. He had fisted hands, web shooting hands, and I think he had wall crawling hands. He also came with a maskless head sculpt. And this guy was in a 2-pack, actually. He came with Spinneret. And Spinneret's a pretty good figure, too, for a female Marvel Legend. This here's just a great looking figure. Overall, as a Marvel Legends collector, these are 5 great Spider-Man figures to choose from for your collection. In my opinion, if you just had to choose one definitive Spider-Man to be in your collection, out of these 5, I would either say the First Appearance, Amazing Fantasy, or the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, just based off articulation, the poses you can get them into, the accessories, and the price you can currently get them for. The black suit's nice too. He's probably the cheapest one to get out of all these, but that's not traditional Spider-Man, is it? That is all I have for this video. Please let me know in the comments, which one of these figures do you like the most? Do you have them all? Do you have a couple of them? Which one's your favorite? Which one do you plan on getting if you don't already have it? If you're new to Marvel Legends, hopefully this video helped you out a little bit. And we'll catch you next time for the next video.